Hey again, let me start build our tic-tac-toe game step by step. So to get started, I will create simple Android application and make sure it is an empty application. Click next and I will name it tic-tac-toe app. Okay. Save it whenever you want to save it. I just click finish. It would take some time to build the complete application for me. I don't think it will take a lot, so it's almost finished. So let me wait for it until everything get ready. So here we go. So everything now is ready for our application to get started with. So this is the project, this is the settings, this is everything for our project. But before we go deep and start design our layout, let me think about how the layout for this game should look like. So if you are not familiar with tic-tac-toe should look like a board this way. And this board has three buttons in every row. I mean 3 options people could click on it. So table has a 3 button in every row. Or board has a 3 button in every row, so 2 players could play. There's multiple ways to design this layout. You could use a simple way that you learned previously, how to use put button, put constraint here, put another button, constraint here, and continue this. You could do that, but for me, I will not use a constraint layout because I want to teach you how to use different layouts. So what I will use a table layout. So the table layout look like this one, for example, and I will add 3 rows in that table, and in every row I put 3 buttons, and that is so 3 button here, for example, 3 button here, and a 3 button here, and this is how my layout for the game will look like. So to get started, I will just go to the resource, and this is how my layout look like. If you see, let me hide this part. I don't need this, I just remove it, no need anymore. This one, well, let me just increase the design so it could be easy for you to see, like the form in the big size, so you could easily follow. I would just increase the font. Some of them are good. So now I have constraint layout. If you see here, this is my constraint layout. I don't want constraint layout. As I told you, I want table layout. If you see here in layout, I have something named table layout. So it's better for me to go here and change this constraint, just the name. I will name it table layout. Okay. So now if I go back, I will see the name changed. Instead constraint, now I have table layout. As I said, the table have 3 rows. Make sure pick this one and add it on the top of the table, so it be child for it. This one also on the top of the table to be child for the table. Never put it on the top of other child because it will be child for the second row. So if you put it here, it will be child for this row, which is wrong. Make sure move it, put it on the child for the table. So now table has 3 rows. We good? If I go to the code or XML, yeah, this is table layout. It have 3 rows. This is first row, this is second row, this is the third rows. But as I told you, we have a table layout, and the table layout have 3 rows, and every row has 3 buttons. So I would assume I should go to this row and I should add 3 buttons. So I will go to the buttons, I will add it inside this row. But do you see the design should repeat it over and over? So for example, I could take 3 buttons just for you, just for learning part for you. So I could add 3 buttons inside this layout. 1, 2, 3. And let me design this one in the nice way, so it will look like a nice. So the button, the first button, for example, this one, the first one. So if you pick it, I will just increase the size for it. Here we go. So now I have table layout, have 3 buttons. Every button should be designed as an option button. So I would go to the width. I have something named wrap content and match parent. Wrap content means the width of the object equal the content of it. So if you have a 1 character, it will be equal to the 1 character. If you have like this size of character inside it, it will increase it. So it will be the size of the characters that you have inside that one. Match parent, let it be the size of the parent. Like this one is the child of this one. So whatever, if you say match parent, it will be the size of this button equal the size of the parent. But now I have 3 buttons, I cannot use match parent. So now this one I remove the text because I don't need the text in it. This one I remove the text, and this one I remove the text. Okay, good. So now what I do, I don't want to use wrap content and I don't want to use a match parent. I want to use a fixed size. I would use 40 pt. Pt is the sizing measurement. I could use in Android, see? And I say 40 pt as a width, 40 pt as a height, so it will be nice button, 40 width, 40 height. Same thing I will do it for the second one. I say, okay, I want to 40 width, 40 height. And the same thing for the third one, 40 width, 40 height. So 3 buttons per row. Until now, everything sounds nice, but you see they are very near each other, so it's better to add a margin. Margin mean, when you talk about margin, you mean how, if you are familiar with HTML, when you say margin mean, if you have two objects, this object and this object, you say, I want this object to margin 3, that means this one will be far from this one 3. So, since I have multiple objects, this one and this one, and this one and this one, and the first one is the child of this one, so when I say margin, it will be far away from how far I wanted it from that object. So I will tell you, if I just go to this one, or this second button, I say, I look for margins. Okay, so you have multiple margins option. If I say margin from the left side, I will give it, for example, 3 pt. Look to it. See, it gives you space between that button and that button. Same thing, if this one I say I want margin from the left side, 3 pt. Look to it. It gives you space. If you see here, it gives you space between this one and this one. Space between this one and this one. For same thing, this one as a row, as a complete row for 3 objects, I want to have a margin between it and between the table. Otherwise, margin works. So if I say, okay, this one I also want, for example, want margin from the right side, maybe left side. Let me say I want margin from, for now, let me just say this button. I didn't add margin for it. I added only for this one and this one. Let me add for this one also before I go next. Sorry. I say this one also 3 pt. So this one have a 3 pt from margin left. This one is 3. This one is 3. So that's good. Now I have 3 of them. They have a margin. They from each others. I also want what the row, for example, the table. The table is filling everywhere. I want to give it a color to make it clear for you. So this as a table, let me just start with background color for the table to show you what I want to do. So if I go to the background color, background, and this way, background, wait a minute, color. Okay, so and I have a table, maybe I didn't select it correctly. So it should be just background. So I say background. So I was correct here. So if I pick, you see, you could pick different colors. Any color you want to see. See, this is, let me just use a red for now to just make you familiar, or any other color like clean color. Then I will pick the colors that I want. So you could pick the colors in this way, or you could give them numbers directly from here. For example, if I have a specific color, I want to give it for, let me assume my favorite color, which is F9. This is a nice color. I would use that as a background, or whatever. Maybe some people are interested with other color, which is D3. This is another background color. That nice background color, you could use it. Use whatever you think is like it's good color. So I would use this one. I would use like D3 as a background for everything. And my buttons, sure, definitely I need to give the button also a color, but if I say here on the button background as a button, I give the complete background color of the button. I also give it the background. I could select here in this way. I say, okay, this is my button. I want to give it the background, so I would click here. I give it the white color, so I would assume F9. This is the white color. I know what the white color is, the 3 F9s. You tell me why how I do that is very simple. I'm not that genius guy. I just go to the Google and learn these colors, or you could use them from here. So I just already know these numbers. For example, I know this is F9, F9. I just get the number, so I just won't save my time. You could get this, for example, you want to know what's the color, what's the number for this color. You just click here, you see this is the number. I already know the white color is F9, F9, F9. So see, I have now 3 nice buttons in one row. 1, 2, 3 button, but I want them to be in the center. So I would assume as a row inside table, the content should be in the center. So what I would say gravity. You select how your object will be. I would select this one. Maybe layout gravity. Okay. This one. I don't know why I'm not able to get it as a row, but I could go to the text and say, okay, this is my table. I say Android, gravity, and I say center. Okay? Sometimes you don't get it from the layout correctly. See, the 3 button now went to the center. Without this line, the 3 button was not in the center. If you look back, the 3 button was in the left side. So I say, okay, I want them to be in the center to make sure I want them in the center, and that is. What else? You see, the button is like very, very touchy in the end, in the top of the end. So you know what I use? I use margin, but margin now is not left. I would assume you know margin maybe from the top, maybe. Let me say 3 pt. See, I just put some space from the top side. So from here on this one. Just make sure I want to space. So 3 buttons, that's nice buttons. You could, I could just go to the code. I have these 2 rows. I no longer need them as a rows. You see this one and this one. I just remove them. You go back, I have only 1 row, and I just copy that row. I have this row as a row, table row. I just copy 1, second row, third row. So if I go back, nicely 6 buttons inside this one. And all of them center, so I make sure. One more thing, I need all these, all the layout to appear not in the top of the form. I want to appear in the center here. So I give gravity for the row in the center to make the row content to appear in the center. I do same thing for the table layout. I say Android. Okay, not that way. I should here I write it. Make sure in the end after they define the word Android. Gravity, and I give it the word center. Now if I just go back, wow, everything as expected. So everything went to the center. So you see now I have all of them have different names, so I make sure I give them correct names so I don't have this issue, or correct IDs. So I remove this part. So what's the ID for this one? Should be, I would assume you give it BU1, and this one BU2. Sorry, let me just go back. This one is BU1, this one is BU2. Make sure click escape, then go back. BU3. Make sure, okay, again BU1, BU2, and BU3. And you could give them ID in different ways. This is how we give it through using the layout. You could use the direct code to add IDs for the button. For example, this row, you could say, okay, this row will be, the second row will be B3, B4, B5, and the third row B6, 7, 8. Why 7, 8? Let's make sure what I did. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one should be 4, 5, 6. This one should be 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay, now I have no error issues. So everything went, everything fixed. Now I have 9 objects. Make sure from IDs. This is 1. This is 2. The IDs. This is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 IDs. You see how I did the color for them using just direct color. I just say it from here and I access the color. There's another way to do color for them by go to resource values. Here in the color you define your colors. Let me assume I have a color, that's what I prefer. You define a color and you name it, for example, white background, this way. Not that, maybe I just wrote some word is not correctly. White background, you give it a name and you give it a value. You remember what I did a value for the white background as a layout? That was my white background, D3. So just copy this one and use it, D3. So I have white background. Now, instead I go in the code and directory, give the name of it. I should say at strings, or sorry, you say at color, and you call that color. It's nicer because you don't need hard code the numbers. Still you have same thing, you have same background color, because when I said add color, white background will go here and pick that color. Okay, same thing for the another color I could add it, which is white. So I say color, name is white, and I give it what you now, I think F9, and it's for some reason it's telling me there is an issue. Hey, you tell me, hey, there is an issue, you cannot use that color, maybe because this name is reserved for some reason. White BU, let me give it this name, because that's color reserved word, you cannot use it. So you see, name it white BU. So now if you go to the buttons, if you see now in the button, now instead I hard code F9, I just say okay, add color / white BU, and I would prefer to use this one for all the button, because I will tell you why in seconds, why it is very important for you to use colors instead hard coding these numbers in your layout. Now, do you see how many of buttons using the white color? What if you want to change to green? What you need to do? You need to go one by one button to fix this problem. But with layout, it's just very easy to change all of them. Just go here and say, okay, this one I want to change it. Let's say, for example, you say, I don't know how a green color will look like. Maybe I use time color pick. Let me, I could do it online, color pick. Or I could use the color pick RGB maybe. There's many tools you could use it to pick a color. Let me pick this. I need to pick this color. Okay. So if you see, this is the FFF whatever. So now I go here. I say okay, I want to replace it with that color. Now if you just go to the all the button colors get changed. Same thing for the background. You say no, I want to change all the background color to something like this color. Maybe this color. I say, okay, let me just copy this color. I go back and I just go to the color file and change it, and it will affect all the UI. So think about, you have a Facebook, you want to change the color. They don't go for every single page and change it. They just go to the resource file and change down to affect other single pages. But for me, I'm good with that nice 2 colors for my game. I want them to look like this way. So now here we're done. Thank you for watching and see you next.